Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and when I say go, I do mean go. I'm gonna punch this thing right now. Let's see, SAS on, throttle is up, and then I'll explain what we're doing on the way up. I'm a little crooked on the runway, so let's straighten that out a little bit. Alright, so this is my SSTO, the only one I got in this series so far. Just get it off the runway here, bring up those landing gear, and we got to go towards the south at about a 6-degree heading, so I'm going to go to a heading 97 degrees. Sorry, it's a little too far. Let me come back this way again because we are going into an inclined orbit because these folks, Michael A., Bill Kerman, Legee, and my newest Kerbal, Hector Kerman, are on their way to Minmus. Well, this thing's not going to Minmus. This is the first leg of our journey to Minmus. Hector, and by the way, if you're wondering with some of these names, other than Bill, of course, is they are named after my patrons and YouTube members. And while I'm on that particular topic, I do want to welcome aboard my newest YouTube member, or no, it's not it's Patreon patron, Adam Waller. Thank you very much, Adam, for helping to support this channel. And I'm trying to fly and thank my patrons at the same time. That's not necessarily a great combination. So, probably, I gotta watch my speed too. I want to make sure I'm building up my speed here. Why is that on that? There we go. Okay. Okay. The plan of explaining everything that I'm doing and flying at the same time might not have been the best idea. But I should get back to how the stream last week ended. Ended in a sort of crackety nightmare with things going wrong and vessels and Kerbals trying to shake themselves apart. I got pitched down a little bit more, keep building up that speed. And I want to let people know that what I did is I did revert that game and started trying again. I went and did the whole landing again. I played around with, I was getting bugs again. In fact, a couple of times the lander glitched into the ground and then exploded. That's always an interesting look. And but I was playing around and quick saving a lot. Definitely the problems start with the repairs on the rover that I was doing. But what combination of events actually precipitated all the wackiness that we saw at the end of last week, I don't know, or at the end of last week's stream. But I will let people know that eventually I hit upon a magic combination that things weren't going wrong anymore. I was able to repair the rover, plant flags, hop to different biomes, collect science without anything going wrong. I wish I knew exactly what was causing the problem and what I did to fix it. I don't really know, but suffice to say I did pull that mission off glitch free and got out of it what I wanted, including planting a couple of flags. And then I went back and started hopping around some more of the landers that I have on Minmus, hopped to a couple of new biomes with different landers that we didn't see last week. I took that rover and I drove it to the slopes where it was going to collect some science, so that was very good because you might recall last week I had a little bit of trouble trying to land a lander in the slopes. So the rover is now in the slopes collecting all kinds of science. And I even took that lander and put two more different Kerbals that were on Minmus Station, Valentina, and I'm sorry I forgot who the scientist was, that went down. And they landed in 2 new biomes and collected even more science. So there is a ton of science being collected that have been collected and is in the process of being transmitted. My science numbers, I got 337 science here, or 338 if I round. So science, my science situation is improving. And that's kind of what this is. I really want to improve the science and start unlocking nodes, try and kind of bleed most of the rest of science out of Minmus, and then put my energy towards the moon. And I'm just watching my speed. It's really starting to build up now, which is exactly what I want to see. should also take a look at my orbital parameters, particularly the inclination. 5.6 degrees. I want it to be 6. So this is on its way to the Minmus Gateway Station, which I built 2 streams ago. Let's pitch down even further. Really build up speed. The Minmus Gateway Station, it is in a low orbit about Kerbin, but in the same plane as Minmus's orbit, and there is a vessel docked with that gateway station, so we're going to bring these folks up. We're going to dock there, transfer them over to the other vessel that's meant to go over to Minmus. Sorry, I'm watching my speed as well. I really got to sort of... not too good at this different kind of concentration. I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to be switching over to the rocket motors. In fact, I might want to put my energy towards that, and then I'll explain what's going on with the contracts over here. So we're up to, let's level off a little bit more. I want to squeeze as much speed as I can out of these Whiplash jet engines, and then we're going to switch over to the toroidal rocket engines. That's on an action group number 1. And let's lower a little more speed out of those Whiplashes. Come on. Don't want to actually start going down, but I definitely want to get as much speed, almost at 1200 meters per second. The more speed you can get out of those Whiplashes, the better, and I think, though, I'm at the end of that. So we're punching that, pitching up a bit, switching this, yeah. Still full throttle. Want to start pushing ahead that apoapsis. I'm only 14 seconds from my apoapsis. There we go. That's working. Get that apoapsis up a bit. And then we can decrease our throttle and cruise our way up, hopefully cruise our way up to low orbit. 5.8 degrees on our inclination. I'm happy with that. And I think this is going okay. Maybe a little bit more. I don't want to be a little pitching up a little bit more. I'm a little low in the atmosphere, only at 23 kilometers, so I don't want to... come on. Hold that. It wants to keep going on prograde. And reduce throttle a little bit. Keep that apoapsis about 50 seconds or so ahead of us. Alright, so let's take a look at the contracts. One of the contracts right here is to crew a base or station. I just got to get up to the Minmus Gateway Station and get at least 1 crew aboard it. So that is a slam dunk contract. We should be able to do that as soon as this vessel gets to its destination. Okay, start to slowly pitch down. Okay, don't want that apoapsis to get away. I'm just reducing throttle here. Putting a little bit more energy into raising that periapsis too. Still would like to have been a little higher in the atmosphere. Hopefully this didn't go wrong, my whole talking and doing this at the same time. So anyway, that's the crew the base or station. I also have a couple of Minmus basey sort of contracts here. One is to land on Minmus with an extended stay, and this is to take a new vessel. I'm not sure if it will be a new vessel, and if it's not, I might just, if it doesn't, because I got a lander that's already there, and if it doesn't like the fact that I'm going to use that old lander, I don't really care. I might just, but as long as I land on Minmus and plant a flag, and don't forget to take a picture, and I got to land near Site Alpha. Reduce throttle a bit more. Let's lock this on prograde. And then hopefully I don't have to think as much anymore. Land near Site Alpha, and that's about... Oh, and then there's a Site Beta and a Site Charlie. I have no idea where Site Beta and Site Charlie are. They haven't shown them yet on the map. I got me a feeling that they are far away from Site Alpha. And then I got another... So basically this is just land and then return home. This is just land in 3 different places. So we can do that. We got a lander already in orbit. And then the last one here is to do a base... which is to land at a specific waypoint. Unfortunately, that waypoint is nowhere near these waypoints. And I have to create a base, and it has to be able to generate power and have support at least 4 Kerbals. So I've not built anything like that. So I'll have to see about building something like that. Unfortunately, the waypoint for this is in what I'm now referring to as the Valley of the Kraken. The same valley that that rover was in. The same valley where we had all our issues last week. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just end up putting a base down there that's got something that can hold 4 Kerbals, putting it down on the surface, calling it a day, and, and coming back. So, but anyway, this is our first one here. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm watching my Apoapsis. I am out of fuel. How on earth did that happen? Oh, dear. Okay, then. Okay, this thing has flown up before and had no issues. But clearly, walking and talking with me is a problem. And flying and talking with me is a problem. Shoot! Oh, I'm a little bit upset. More than just a little bit upset. We're not even going to get out of the atmosphere. How did that happen? Now, one thing I did do is I put in, if I look at the inventory, I don't know if it was my flying or what I just did to the but I put in 3 struts in the inventory because I want to strut up that station, and I also put in this inventory 4 new repair kits to take up to Minmus station. Shoot! And I don't know if that little bit of extra mass could have made that much of a difference. I don't think so, because I've flown this thing to orbit with 4 tourists. Like 6 Kerbals. I only have 4 Kerbals. I think my flying just sucks. Okay, well, we're out of fuel. Thankfully, this thing should be able to have no trouble with gliding. Wow. I think I can't talk and fly at the same time, I think is really what my problem is. This ended up closing. This ended up closing. That ended up closing. I am completely out of liquid fuel, so I don't have jet engines. Wow! I'm not sure what happened there. I am not sure what happened there. Okay, I'm time warping at 4 times contract speed here. Let's get rid of the contract windows because we're not going to be doing that. But as I was talking about all that stuff, I just simply wasn't paying attention to what was going on, and we ran out of fuel. Wow! Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's undo that. Of course, we're close to orbital velocities here, so I should treat this like a re-entry. Down on surface. No, my throttle's still on. Wow! Maybe there's still some bugs that are working out of this thing. I don't know. Building a spade with 4 different engines on it, I find a little bit awkward. I can't wait to get those Rapier engines. That makes life a lot easier, but... Oh, so disappointed. Well, we'll get this down. Hopefully we can make the water somewhere. I'm not sure where we're going to be coming down. I don't think we are. I think we're over a continent. Whoa. How about paying attention to what you're doing here? So we're going to have to try and go for, a crude, like a landing. And depending upon the terrain, that might get a little sketchy. I don't know. We'll see what kind of terrain we got. I could always bail everybody. There is that option. But I'd rather not lose the space plane. So, sorry about that. I thought everything was going fine, but obviously I messed up somewhere. I just see a comment in the chat. I just got here. What did I miss? Well, you missed a failed attempt to reach orbit. My failed attempt to reach orbit and talk about what was going on in this episode at the same time. Maybe I just need to practice more with this thing and get it to the point where it's routine. Alright, let's see. Fortunately, it's going to be nighttime for the landing, too. Let's do a save in case this really goes wrong, because I don't... Oh, I do see some water this way, but I don't think we're going to make it. Let's see if we can reduce drag here a little bit, see if we can steer it over that way. It'd be lovely if I can make the water. Water makes a nice, easy landing. Suggest writing a KOS script for the ascent. That is not a bad idea, John. I'm not 100% sure. I got a feeling it's... Well, it might not be that individual. And then that way, because that's the lovely thing I have about my rocket launches, is I have the KOS script, and I can start the KOS script, and then the KOS script does a pretty good job. It's well tested. And then I can just talk. But clearly, I messed up here. What do you think? Am I going to make the water over here? Got a little bit of a pond right below me. Maybe it might be better to go for that. Maybe over this way. I don't think I'm making this water. I just trust landing in the water much more than putting it down in the terrain. And I think the terrain here looks not entirely friendly, and also it's nighttime. Okay. Oh, someone pointed out in the chat I was still locked to prograde there for a little while, but I got it now. Okay, let's see. Need to sort of keep up the speed here. I'm going for this little lake. That's what we're going for. Alright, and you know what I might just do? Just because, like, we're already 17 minutes into this stream just to watch a failed orbital attempt, is I do have a small little 6-crewed space plane that's on a booster rather than an SSTO like this. That is way more dependable. Maybe on the second attempt I'll just pile these folks into that rather than spend another 20 minutes only with the potential of not making orbit. Okay, let's add a bit of time warp to this. I just got to remember to take it off again. Okay, I got to keep my speed up. I'm just noticing my speed's just under 200 meters per second. Because if you don't keep your speed up, you're going to be falling out of the sky. I want to make that. I don't have any jet engines. I've completely run out of liquid fuel. There's a little bit of oxidizer left, but of course that's useless. I do have RCS, but that's not going to do much for me. It's not worth it. Okay, let's keep that speed up. Speed up. I think I'm losing speed too quickly. I don't think I'm going to make that lake. I really don't. Speed's about 140 meters per second. I don't think I'm making the lake, and I don't like the looks of the terrain that way, so I'm going to do an abrupt change of mind here. Going this way, and hopefully... I did quick save. If this turns into... I don't want to kill my Kerbals. I'm a wimp. Okay, landing gear down. Abandoning the idea. I don't like how hilly this terrain is. Okay, what do I got? 200 meters. Ah! Speed up. I've never landed this anywhere other than the runway or ditching it in the water. I'm not even sure. I think I did. I had. Oh, I ditched a glitched version of this in the water once. I remember that. The Kraken had some fun with it. Okay, here we go. Come on, get down. It's a pretty decent glider. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Okay! There we go. That wasn't nearly as dramatic as I was worried it was going to be. Nice. Okay. There we go. All right. Safe and sound on the ground. How far did we make it? So where did we... Oh, I can't... There's the KSC. So, you know, I'm not quite halfway around the planet. That's pretty fable. Okay, let's recover. We'll try this again. The Puff 2, I believe, is the vehicle. This is the Puff 2. So it's a space plane. I've used it a bunch of times. Well, people that have watched this stream a bit know of it. So it's a little same crew, 6-crewed space plane inside a big giant fairing, but on a booster rather than obviously what you are more used to seeing. So let's see, same crew. So Jeb's out. I believe it was Michael A was our pilot. I'm just making sure that none of them have ever been around Minmus. Legee, I believe, was our scientist. And Hector was our other scientist. All heading... Oh, I just replaced Legee with Hector. There we go. And also putting in some supplies here, because that was part of what I was doing. Open this up. Inventory. We put in, I think I had 4 repair kits. And I also had struts. And I'm not sure, I wouldn't think this would be, well, the struts are 50 kilograms each. They're not trivial. Maybe that's what messed up my space plane. I don't know. Space planes are weird. Sometimes the aerodynamic models are strange in KSP. I'm just going to take this. Just looking at it, and I want to rotate it that way. Fly up that way. Okay. So we're going to save, and we're going to launch it right away. Let's go. There you go. You get to see two different ideas as far as space planes go. Okay, Puff 2 is where we're going. We are targeting the Minmus gateway. We're going to have to go to our next transfer window, which is where we got to go around a few hours. How far are we? 2 hours and 37 minutes. So let's get to that. At least it'll be daytime when we get there. Do a quick save. And I didn't even check staging, but I'm assuming this is all okay. I've used it a fair amount of times. Okay. So time warping away here. Kerbal Engineer is telling me when we're getting to this node. We'll launch a few minutes ahead because it takes a few minutes to get up there. And we're going to be having to launch towards... I always want to verify. I think I'm going to need to launch... No, last time I launched towards the south. Well, maybe I launched in the wrong direction too. That's entirely possible. Okay, let's check how things are going here. So, no, we got to launch towards the north. Okay. So we got to launch towards the north at 6 degrees. So we are going to use a launch script. This makes my life easier. 80-kilometer orbit. And in an inverted orientation, which means that the cockpit will be pointing down when we're... That's why I rotated it in the VAB. Because space planes need to go up that way. All right, let's do it. So, completely different idea. Oh, we have a roll right away. Oh, maybe it keeps... I shouldn't have rolled. Okay, that's okay. It seemed to be all right. And now it's rolling again. Okay, so next time don't roll it in the VAB. It rolls it by itself. It knows what way it's supposed to be on the pad, and then it'll do it. That's okay. It didn't hurt anything. Look at the plumes coming off. This is a mainsail engine. And really glorious sounds, too. It actually sounds like a heavy rocket. Nice. It is a fairing. There's no doubt about it. There is a this is it's all, of course, to clear the wings. I did at some point build much the same sort of thing with sort of variable geometry would be the term, where I had hinges and the wings would fold up so it was in a nice smaller package, which was really sweet. My issue with that was feels a little bit underpowered. Oh well. My issue with the look at that. I keep getting distracted. It's even prettier at nighttime. That is wonderful. Anyway, the issue I've always had with the robotics in stock, I haven't used them in a long time, so maybe it's been cleared up, but I find you can really get some nonsense happening with those robotic parts, and I've had all kinds of crazy problems with trying to build a variable geometry space plane. So that's why I got a giant fairing. That's the short of it. Okay, so we've just cut thrust a little bit. Trying again to keep that apoapsis fairly close by. And we are getting close to losing our main booster, and then we get into an upper stage here. I should get my contracts back. Taking a second shot at this crew a base or station contract. I believe all three of these contracts are coming from the bases and crews contract pack. Bases and stations, sorry, contract pack. I believe all of these, because the stock, a lot of the stock contracts, I think, leave a little bit to be desired. Okay, about to lose our main booster, and then on to the little... And for whatever reason, it decided it wasn't going to stage. And that looks very much like a stock plume. This engine is the Cheetah engine, which is part of one of the Restock engines. So not getting a nice plume off of that. It looks pretty dull compared to what we've been seeing. There goes our ginormous fairing. All right. Oh, thank you, V, for the kind donation. One hell of a fairing there. Love your channel, by the way. Well, thank you very much. It's well appreciated. Okay, we must be getting close. Velocity is almost up to 2 kilometers a second, so it's a pretty solid indication that we're getting close to being up there. And the one thing is, this is faster too. Space planes are fun and all, and I do get the attraction of building them, but from a purely practical, let's play the game and let's get things done, honestly, rockets, I think, are always the way to go. Money's, like, how much money do I have now? I'm not even trying to be conservative with it. It's like, I got 3.4 million Kerb bucks. Money's not an issue. So I don't need to worry about throwing away rocket parts and all that stuff. And this is quicker and easier than, and same with building space planes at all. Capsules and parachutes are the easiest way to go. But, you know, people want something that looks okay. All right, almost in space. Okay, that's 70 kilometers. Lights go on. It's getting ready for its orbital insertion, which is coming up in about 3 minutes. This plane has featured in a few of my little short videos. I do like making those little shorts that are designed for mobile and have to be less than a minute long. And this plane's featured in a few of them, and I always get the comment, What mods? And although I do have mods installed and they're all down there in the description, this plane, other than these tanks right here, which are those baguette tanks. They're stock tanks, but I used Tank Editor to change them to monoprop tanks. But you could replace those with the stock cylindrical monoprop tanks. This is a stock vessel. You could build this in stock pretty much exactly. And in fact, most of the vessels you see in this series can be definitely built in stock. I've kind of stayed away from using a lot of mods. The engines at the end here are just the monoprop puff engines that are on the plane, so they just work on monoprop, which for, if you're playing Kerbalism, monoprop engines are great because they have infinite ignitions. They don't wear out like the liquid fuel engines do. Okay, orbital insertion time. We are there. We still got about 280 meters per second left just in this thing, so we can take this with us. That's a lot easier. Okay, program is complete. Won't need that for the rendezvous. Let's go. So we're in an orbit, so you can see the whole plan was to put ourselves in an orbit that's in the same plane as our target is, but not necessarily in a good spot. So unfortunately, this part of it might be a little bit before we actually get there. So you can see how far away our encounter indicators are, but all we got to do is go here and pop ahead orbits until they get close together. There we go. And of course, the advantage of going in an inclined orbit, like launching right into the right inclination, is saving yourself having to make the inclination change when you're in space, because inclination changes are expensive. I got about 900 meters closest approach here. That might be as good as I'm going to get. Yeah, it's as good as I'm going to get. Bet you get, yeah, 900 meters. It's because there's probably a slight, yeah, a 0.1 degree inclination difference between the two. Okay, so that is that. Let's get this ready for solar panels. Where's the sun? Oh, it's already pointing pretty close the right way. And helps if I have my fingers in the right place on the keyboards. Okay, so this burn's coming up in an hour and 32 minutes. I also want to, I'm going to keep using this Cheetah engine. I mean, why not? Just going to turn the thrust down a little bit on it. All right, let's get to that. So accomplishing the exact same purpose, but, oh, analysis stopped, not enough space in the hard drive. I don't know where that came from, but it doesn't matter. Oh, I have my RCS on. I don't know why. Okay, so this is just our rendezvous burn here. Okay, where are we at? Let's close this off. We'll finish this off with RCS. Oh, I'm on the whole wrong buttony things. 1 kilometer separation. I know I can do better than that. Had it about 900. Oh, here we are. 9. That's about it. 950 to 53. Okay, that's fine. Don't care. Don't care. Can put it here just so solar panels are nicely exposed. I'm going to definitely make use of some of this fuel here too that's here. Okay, we are 17 minutes away from our station. Our station will be coming in from behind us here, I think. So a little mini space plane. Mini space plane, but it accomplishes the exact same purpose as the other space plane. Alright, where is our ship? There we are. There's our station. This is going to be the first crew to step aboard Minmus Station. Or not Minmus Station, Minmus Gateway is what its name is. I'll try and close this separation distance a bit. $38 meters. Not going to complain about that. How many ignitions on this? Still 9 ignitions. And if it fails, I got the plane. It's already done its job. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on here? There we go. Some funky camera stuff happening there. Start slowing down here as we approach our station. You might recall a couple of weeks ago I put this station up and I got really lazy. I used the same parts that I had for another station. I just simply launched it again. So I have 2 stations in low orbit. One is coplanar with the moon and the other one is coplanar with Minmus's orbit. And I really knocked off a lot of my speed, and I got some sort of funky glitchiness things happening too. Which is kind of annoying. Don't know, every time I time warp, this jumps. It bothers me. I'm getting paranoid about glitches. Feels like it's coming below me, so... Oh yeah, look at the Navball. It's way coming below me. Let's do this. Oh, I'm still locked on retrograde. That doesn't help. Alright. Now we are going to do a little bit of work on the station. Now that I got an engineer up here, Bill's going to do himself a little bit of work. The first job is going to be to dock. Okay, that's enough of that. Shut down that engine. Take a little bit more off with RCS. Can't even see. Oh, there they are. Okay. And we do have a docking port right here. Open that up. And we will control from here. And then we got to pick our spot to dock. There should be... Oh, it's way over on the other side here. So that's not exactly cool. Just reorient this and come a little bit more. There we go. That's better, I think. Just want to make sure I don't clip that solar panel. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. Okay, let's orient this the way we need it. I just really want to watch. I should get on the station and... Oh, shoot. I got it. There we go. That's what I want. Make sure I don't hit... Just watching that solar panel. I should maybe retract it, but... We're okay. As long as I'm careful. What always messes me up is which way is... There we go. Because I'm controlling from the docking port roll and all that stuff is different. There we go. Okay, we're good. All good, all good. Aim our camera here. And we're going to have to sort of slide sideways a little bit. Oh, I see where we got to go. I'm seeing the target icon on the Navball. There's the target icon on the Navball, so I got the retrograde icon. You want that and this in a line. And that means you're moving in the right way. I could probably move a little bit more this way for sure. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but we switched to prograde, so that means we are moving in the right direction, just very slowly. How far are we? Oh, no, we're not far. I'm just going to do a quick save right here because, I don't know, last time I was docking with stations in low orbit about Kerbin, things started going really bad. Again, some Kraken-y stuff. I'm not sure why the Kraken's having so much fun with my game of late, but it is. Right. And I'm more looking at the Navball than I am at this. I mean, it looks like things are lined up pretty good. Whoops, let's slow ourselves down here a little bit. And bunk. And I should be ready to toggle torque too. There we go. Turn off the torque. Toggle the torque. Are there any other reaction wheels in this silly thing? I don't think there is. I think the only reaction wheels are in that cockpit. Just checking to see, did I bury some in here? 'Cause sometimes I do that. I don't think I did. That's a Clampatron, yeah. Okay. So there we go. Okay, we're docked.